There are actions that can have almost indelible impacts in our lives, but we realize them too late. Hi, I'm Marco, and I'd like to share my story with you. But first, please subscribe and click on the notification bell. You are blessed. Throughout my life, I have always worked to be the best version of myself. I was this child who served as an example to others. In my old neighborhood, they would refer to me as the little wise one because I had an unusual behavior. My words, as well as my behavior, was never likened to that of a common child. I either read books in my free time or the Bible. My father always offered me a new book on my birthday. Nothing dazzled me more than that. He also started writing, and in no time, he became a renowned author. He went from an accountant to writer. This transition was accelerated, especially after Mom's death. We found in the pages what we were missing from Mom. My love for books turned into something I would never have imagined. I had read so many books that I had the impression of knowing everything about them. Knowing each story to my fingertips, I could guess the end, especially of the authors I knew well. Soon after I was bored, I wanted to discover something absolutely out of the norm. I worked for a publishing house, which was no surprise to anyone. Dad, don't you have a new topic to offer readers? They are tired of the routines served on the market. Marco, you know very well that I am too old to serve something fresh to readers, and in addition I will be retiring next year. Even my father no longer intrigued me, so I began to think about other strategies or forms of writing, including better sources of inspiration. I had a particular passion for tragedies, mostly involving women. Probably it was caused by Mom's death. I invited ladies to my home from time to time. Being a man in his 30s and single, no one from the neighborhood really questioned my actions, except for the fact that those ladies never came out of my house, at least not in full. What you think is exactly what I was doing, even if it's hard to believe. But to satisfy my thirst for intrigue and strong sensation, I didn't just sleep with the girls. On the contrary, I didn't even touch them. I made them suffer before taking their lives, and then I made sure I got rid of their bodies discreetly. No one was looking for them since they were all crazy girls. As for me, I used them to write, and yes, I had truthfully. I become a writer in my books, started selling like hotcakes, but no one actually understood what motivated me most, being the writer that I was. You know, it's really time for you to get married, Marco. I need a grandson, and you don't seem aware of it. It's hard to believe that you would like our lineage to die out when we die. Why is it so important to ensure this sustainability? We are not eternal. We must make room for the other generations after us. The world will no longer have enough space to contain everyone. But what are you talking about? Is it today that this world will be overwhelmed? Or is it just your kids who will fill this earth? You really have a funny way of thinking. It was easy for Dad to say what he said, but little did he know that without realizing it, he had just given me another twisted idea, but this time it concerned him. I wanted something new, so my father had become my target. A lost lineage sounded good as a title, so I went to my father's house for a weekend and decided to choke him during his sleep. While he was still trying to struggle for his life, I was hit on the head. I collapsed, and while fallen, I saw a woman. Immediately after, an ambulance landed to transport me. My father was sitting there, at my bedside, crying like a girl. He did not understand why I had to do such, and seeing his tears, the same question reasoned in my mind. The woman who had hit me was standing with a suspicious look, filled with disgust. It seemed that she was Dad's housekeeper, whom I did not even know, since I only visited him once in a while. The question of why I had done such a thing, I could not answer. It was as if everything I had done was ringing in my head and wanted to be said out loud. My father did not file a complaint, but decided to entrust me to a psychiatric hospital. While I was there, I got tired of my vain quest. My psychologist was a Christian and realized my taste for reading, so he gave me the Bible as a bedside book. It was the only book I couldn't guess or understand the writing logic. I read it almost nonstop. I have toured the Bible 11 times, and this is the 12th time I have had a special encounter with God. He spoke to me through dreams, and through the word that was in me. The blood of your brothers and sisters are shouting, what have you done? If a man hits his neighbor with an iron instrument, and death is the sequel, he is a murderer. My murderer will be punished with death. Numbers 35 to 16:21 verses. You shall not kill. Exodus 20:13. A man loaded with the blood of another flees to the pit. Let him not be stopped. Proverbs 28:17. To name a few, I had to speak out. One day when the doctor was about to give my assessment, I shouted, "Doctor, I want to confess. I am the devil in person." I started telling him everything I had done in the past, and to my amazement he believed me and led me to repentance. After my repentance and deliverance, I handed myself over to the police and told my story and testimony while in prison. I feel much better and freer to preach the gospel to my fellow prisoners, even though most of them find it hard to believe my story. They say it's a horror story for the children I invented from scratch. But I just pray that they can believe in Jesus Christ, who is the source of our salvation. My father comes to visit me from time to time. I pray that he will end his days peacefully. And as for you, I pray that God spares you from this kind of bloody demon. Shalom.